All right, good evening, everyone from Southern Mississippi. It's let's see, approaching 4:30 Central Time. We're about 3.5 minutes to go till the race starts here. I already set my weight to what it was this morning. I'm reading 158.9, and I check here 158.9. So that's my official weight. Go ahead and I dropped a good chunk of change on a new frame here. So we're going to try it out today. The Tarmac Venge, sorry, the Specialized Venge. We're going to stick with the 808 wheels by Zip. Let's see, so like I mentioned, I already just did my warm-up. Nice long, not under time pressure. To try and squeeze something in. We'll say hello to everyone here. Good evening from Mississippi. Change our point of view to first person. Looks like we have 19 people in the race so far. Let's take a quick look. There are 35 people signed up, so people tend to come right at the last minute, so we'll see what happens there. Get your weather update. Grab another drink, approaching a minute and a half. So this one is put on by Zwift HQ. I'm doing some anti-sandbagging testing. And based on my weight and performance alone, give me a warning that I might get flagged because I think I'm around the edge. So I think we'll be okay, but 78% humidity, 68, feels like 68, so it's definitely cooler today. Didn't use all my fans when warming up. But I definitely have them all going now. Because I will be putting out some heat. 20 seconds to go. Grab one more drink of my H2O hydration product. I think this one's 6 quick laps, so we'll see how we go. Keep an eye on this guy right in front of me in red, white, and blue. Could just be a common jersey, but I recognize the jersey for sure. So we got flagged. Ah. I got to use my power up. I'll have to lap someone here.
Hey guys, it's me, Zach, your IT trainer for the day. We are in 8A here in Tasmania. I'm going to bring one for you guys. We're great, so let's get going. A nice warm up. Today's workout is not only going to be full of views, but it's going to be full of terrain that is just undulating and changing the entire time. So we're going to be warming up here for a second. And the whole point of today is not a specific amount of interval training, it's not a specific amount of hitting anything hard. The goal is going to be using blow-ups as a way to get your workout out. This is how I like to train right up through the mountains. It's going to be kind of rolling with whatever you encounter. So it's not a specific workout. It's not a specific set of interval times. It's just rolling with whatever you get. So it's nice and warm up for now. We'll warm up for a few minutes. Then we'll go get some harder intervals. Take some deep breaths. Let that body just try to get ready to be a runner. We're not pushing anything hard. Nice. On top of that, I've got some great views for you of the cliffs out here on the southern peninsulas of Tasmania. You'll see a lot of steep cliffs from Clockwise, which is kind of a lead type compound with a reddish hue to it. Deep breaths. One point of your warm-up is to get your body to start feeling good. You'll notice when we first start off, your heart rate is going to be a little high. Your blood pressure is going to be a little high as well. And as we start running, our body releases some chemicals. That allow our vascular system to peripheralize into our muscles. So that's a really fancy way to say that our vasculature gets pushed deeper into our muscles. It opens up a little bit. Next, guys. And it creates this. Guys, it creates this opportunity. How's it going? Nice work. Thank you. It creates this opportunity for your muscles to be fed with oxygen, with nutrients, ready to do some hard work. It usually takes about 5 to 10 minutes. Thanks, guys. That's typically why we want a little bit of a warm up. It's also why your treadmills come up with a pre-warm-up setting. Gives you a few minutes to kind of kick into gear, get that fight or flight sympathetic response going, where our bodies can become primed and ready to be runners. So today, I'm going to take you guys through this really fun track here that's going to go up and down, rolling, which sometimes we find is really hard to gain this rhythm. And that's because people want to push certain paces. So today, I'm going to teach you, it's not about pace, it's about effort. So we're going to push a similar pace throughout the whole. Hey guys. Hey. Nice work. We're going to be utilizing these ups as a way to increase the amount of work our body has to do, which is going to put us into a higher workload level. It's going to make us breathe heavier, require more oxygen, more muscular force as we're going uphill, which is going to be the exact same idea from a physiological standpoint as running faster. So these sections will be our workouts. You guys should be warmed up by now. So we are just going to keep rolling with it.
I should have stopped pedaling.
Hey guys.
All right, let me save this away real quick.
The trick to going uphill is always a shorter stride will help carry you up that mountain a little easier. So there you go, there's one little effort. And we're not really changing pace much.
Got a new PR for the lap on that last lap.
Get rid of the deep, guys.
Looks like.
Thank you.
All right, the screen will go black for a second. Then I'll relaunch Zwift.
As you can see, it's a really popular track to do. It's super accessible, and it's totally worth the climbs. Oh. These views, you can't beat this. Just keep rolling with the terrain. As we go downhill, it's gonna be a lot easier. Our body doesn't have to do as much work to let gravity help us instead of work against us. Okay, guys. So our recoveries are gonna be on now. Although downhill is
Right.
not cardiovascularly demanding, it is muscularly
Go to Innsbruck.
demanding. As each step, we have to absorb our body weight and have to brace for that drop every time. So there's a lot of movement in the muscles on our quads and glutes to stabilize and to slow us down. Hey guys, you can think of each step downhill is roughly 2 to 3 times your own body.
All right. So it's a pretty good race.
That's why
There's only 6 laps,
you guys,
so I figured it'd be pretty fast.
head up the runners.
And,
Strength work is really important.
So we'll kind of go through
Also,
and,
one thing I like to focus on
call out the things I remember.
is quick drills.
So we head out of the pen, make a left, and you can see up front there's already 2 guys out the front.
Ladder drills you do.
And,
with really fast feedback and forward.
So I'm trying to learn to be patient with that.
Getting that hand-eye, foot-eye coordination.
My concern this time was
In order
that
to place your foot exactly where you want to.
my concern was that we were going to it's a short race,
Those help.
so were those guys ever going to get brought back? I don't know.
Whether the
But
track is really technical or if the down-
before we hit the first climb, we already brought them back. I didn't have to do any work in the wind. but others chase after him. I think I effectively stayed out of the wind the whole time.
Which is going to require you guys to do a little more work.
I might have accidentally chased down one gap that formed.
You don't have to go fast, and we're not sprinting.
Again, I wasn't trying to. Well, there's two of them, I remember.
Do more,
One,
which is going to require
it was along the top somewhere, and people tend to accelerate right there.
more muscular
So I was accelerating, wound up accelerating past the group that wasn't getting up to speed fast enough. And
take a few nice deep breaths.
in the process, I bridged over to the 2 or 3 guys that were going faster. So I was in the wind a little bit there, not long, a few seconds.
Shorter, choppier steps as we go uphill.
And then there was one section where I wound up out in front,
Mini squats.
second place. It wasn't in the wind. And we had a gap on folks.
Requires
And again, that was just by accident
per step.
because
That's why these become more demanding. Are you
just as I was coming to the front, a guy came around me, and I could kind of see what was happening, so I
you start doing
averaged a small amount of acceleration,
breath a little heavier?
stayed on his wheel, didn't really even feel the extra effort,
Make sure.
and basically he gapped everyone, I just stayed on his wheel, so let's see.
Deep breath in.
So we come out, make a left,
Let it go.
full lap before we get our first power up.
Is an opportunity.
My first one was a featherweight
Exact buildup.
that I forgot to use on the climb.
Just as much as we need oxygen.
Stayed with everyone just fine. That was the second climb because we did our first climb on lap 1 before getting into a power up.
Let's keep her going.
So stayed with the front on the climb without using a power up.
Gets really steep, so to walk it as that incline increases, is still the same effort.
Since I forgot to use it,
But we're
I didn't want to use it on the
in training
up and down stuff
terrain.
because you don't get to turn it off and on. You have to wait for it to burn out. And I wanted to use, I didn't want to be lighter for the downhill section. So I waited and then burned it somewhere on the flat.
Keep that chest open.
I think just before the start finish line, so that
Here we go.
that way I'd be a little bit lighter
That's
because everyone tends to accelerate along that front section again.
of incline.
So
You run it.
burn that there.
That's easy job.
Next one I got, I think, was the was a ghost. Maybe that's not true. Did I get 2 ghosts? I might have got 2 ghosts. I don't know. I don't remember what the next one was. Somewhere in there, I got a.
This is actually one of the few places left where they've seen
I don't know what you call it.
Tasmanian
It's a
devils.
machine that flattens out pavement. Steamroller, I guess.
That's an endangered species.
And but I remember that one's supposed to give you reduced rolling resistance. So
See flea lizards.
you could use it, the way I remember it is it makes a road bike work more efficient on gravel,
Keep it up.
where really that's more beneficial for a mountain bike. So I figured, well, if I'm going to get any benefit from it at all, it's going to be on the cobblestone, so that's where I use it.
Here we go. Starting to look
Um,
a little bit. All right.
that was 2, so that was lap 1.
We're still rolling through
lap 2, lap 3.
We're gonna go all the way to the top of this
Yeah, I think I got another ghost in there somewhere. Might have got it after the featherweight and then the rolling steamroller.
Whatever you want to.
Hopefully you can hear me. So next one I got was a aero helmet, and I was contemplating whether or not to use that
Another reason
because
that muscular strength is so important to train with.
I got it at the beginning of lap 5.
Require a combination of fitness and strength.
Didn't use it anywhere on the flats before the climb.
This is
Didn't figure I'd use it on the climb.
little repetitions.
I was going to kind of use it as a backup for any sort of gaps I needed to jump across to. Because again, we were staying pretty close together,
A little bit away, a whole ton of times.
and we were coming to the end of the race soon. So I figured there'd be some gap formed somewhere,
If they're not,
maybe along the top.
you're really hard. Do just a little bit.
And I wound up not using it anywhere on that lap. So I was going to burn it just before the start finish so I could
You're nearing.
use it essentially into lap 6 and get another power up. So then I was trying to decide if I wanted to do that or if I want to keep it knowing which power up I'd have for lap 6. Because otherwise it's a spin of the roulette wheel to see what you get. And
Let's keep it moving.
I was thinking, the whole time I was thinking, man, if I get that ghost power up again,
Out. In terrain like this,
I can't use it at the end. I've already tried that before and it won't let you.
which leg was the big sense?
So I'd have to try and use the ghost somewhere else,
That way,
which is great if I want to break away,
with one side,
but I didn't feel like I had the power versus everyone else to do that.
nice work.
So then I was going to have to try and figure out where to use it.
And
So I was thinking, man,
maintaining a similar
hope I don't get the ghost on lap 6.
really hard.
The only way to guarantee that is to not use my aero helmet power up from lap 5 and just keep it for lap 6. Well, I wound up using it,
Let's take this
and
down
sure enough, I got the ghost
and use it as an
for lap
opportunity
6.
to catch your breath and let all that lactic acid
So
flush from the system.
wound up using that.
Whenever we create muscle contractions,
I don't remember where it was now. I don't remember if I used it on the,
as a byproduct. It's just like
I think it was just after the hills, after the up and down downhill section. I think is where I burned it.
you create energy, you do something with it, that combustion
And again, the ghost power up makes it so that
needs
no one can draft off you,
this is
and it makes you invisible so that you disappear
cool down
from them. So they can't see you,
between
they disappear from the list, they have no idea where you went.
body,
They could guess,
into the blood,
because the right way to use it
while still maintaining
is
contractions.
fire it off and then
Go flushing all that byproduct,
break away,
getting that lactic
knowing that no one can chase you
out of the muscles
because they can't see you and they can't draft off you.
for good nutrients.
So anyway, I used it,
You can push it a little harder.
and the guy behind me was consistently staying exactly 1 meter behind me the whole time.
Use this.
So he was matching me
Opportunity to do that.
effort for effort.
Actually have to work super hard. Getting the drafting on your side
And
instead of working against you. It's gonna help you go downhill. But again, if we talk
stretch out
about
the leg a little bit here.
that muscular strength,
It's 8% climb.
you might notice that sometimes
And I think we're in Austria right now,
your legs
Innsbruck,
are
Austria.
really sore afterwards. Maybe you've done a downhill marathon or a half marathon,
So anyway, I burned that,
or you run
and
trail.
Heart rate was coming up, but I didn't, again, I described this the other day. It doesn't feel like your heart rate to explode and you've got nothing left because you're trying to chase something and your mind's telling you can't. When you're in front, it feels different. It's almost like that. Well, if you've been following cycling for any period of time, there was a stage of the Tour de France where Lance Armstrong and Levi Leipheimer broke away, and I think it was Jan Ulrich and his lieutenant, which might have been Vinokurov. Wow. This climb feels a little bit longer when you sail this out the whole time.
I've been with Louis and Everett with the culture here in Australia. Very active communities. They see the importance of moving their bodies and appreciating what these places have.
So anyway,
in fact, 42% of the island of Tasmania
the four of them went off the front,
reserved
and at one point
nature parks as national
it might have been
national parks.
Armstrong and Leipheimer
Very well protected.
against
They're trying to keep the vegetation from getting
man, what's his name now?
smashed, eroding soil.
Totally just went blank. Jan Ulrich,
Really often see.
and of course Jan Ulrich
Again, with
only cares about Armstrong because Leipheimer is only there to help out, and so
we give you guys the final push.
at one point,
Just for a little bit. The turn of the leg.
at least the way it was told to us, is that Armstrong told Leipheimer to go because he wanted him to take it for the stage win. And the only way that was going to happen
Keep swinging those arms.
is for him to go out front, go hard,
Carry you up the hill.
because Ulrich wasn't going to chase him,
Throwing our back.
because Armstrong wouldn't have to do any work, because he wouldn't help to chase his own teammate down. So if Ulrich attacked, counterattacked,
As we bound.
Armstrong would get a free ride. If Ulrich decided to attack Armstrong to maybe get a few seconds on him or whatever, and he wound up bringing Armstrong back up to Leipheimer, then it'd be 2-on-1 again.
Endurance.
So it's kind of this
Muscular endurance.
perfect situation.
There's also
And so Armstrong told Leipheimer to go. Here's the reason for my long story.
that helps us to breathe heavy.
He said to ride
Working and treating
like you just stole it.
from a cardiovascular standpoint. Allowing my
Meaning, you're on this bike,
to fuel my
you just stole the bike,
to be able to do his work.
and if you don't want to get caught,
Muscular
you gotta ride like there is no tomorrow.
strength.
You're not saving anything, you're not holding anything back,
We're going
because if you do, you're gonna get caught.
up and down mountains.
So you better ride like you just stole it.
Both of those components
Anyway, all that to say,
cared for what we're doing.
that's kind of the feeling
Solely
difference when
doing
your heart rate's climbing
runs that don't
and you're out in front trying to stay away
training without doing
versus your heart rate's climbing and you're doing everything you can just to hang on.
it's the combination and the marriage of the two that makes a
So anyway, long story there.
well-prepared athlete. Running up and down hills and mountains is a great way to combine the two.
see how we did now. You also saw pretty early on, I think it was the guy that kept attacking off the front. He got flagged for sandbagging. Basically, he was putting in too hard of an effort for what's allowed for the group he signed up for. So I ended up taking fifth again.
Let's do a quick one here. 3, 2,
First and second came in right behind each other, both at the same time. 2 seconds in front of me. Third and fourth came in together, same time. 1 second in front of me. Sixth came in, same time as me. Seventh came in, same time as me. Oh, it shows, time-wise, it shows third and fourth were a second back, but it must have been a fraction of a second because it shows that they were the same. I could give you a time, and there'll be plus 1 second back, plus 2 seconds back, and so on. It shows them plus 0. I was plus 1. 6th and 7th was plus 1. 8th was plus 2. 9th was plus 3. 10th was plus 4. The guy that got flagged, I think not only do you get flagged, your wattage calculation takes a hit. So you have to put out a lot more watts to equal the watts you would be putting out. So kind of equivalent to putting with the brakes on. He wound up coming in 14th place, 4.5 minutes back. So anyway, all in all, good race. My heart rate was sitting in mid 160s the whole time, which is where I'd like it to be or lower. Temperature definitely has an impact on it. I still sweated a bunch, but maybe the best way to say it is the difference between sweating a bunch and overheating. And by not overheating, my body didn't have to try and worry about, again, it wants to keep you alive, so I didn't have to try and, my body didn't have to try and focus all this effort on counteracting heat exhaustion, overheating, all these things. Instead, it could do what I wanted it to do, and that was remove waste from the muscles, replenish, react how I want it to be, how I want it to cardiovascularly, and not spend a whole bunch of time and effort wasted trying to do things I didn't want it to do, like keep me alive or something.
Open up that stride. Keep those arms. Keep moving.
So anyway, all in all, a good ride. My pre-race warm-up,
Take a little bit of this downhill to help open up.
I mentioned briefly before the race.
Back up.
I actually started out with no fans. Partway through, turned on one fan. About a third of the way through, about 2/3 of the way through. Turned on a second fan. Never did open up the jersey. And started on the third and fourth fans just for the race itself.
Let's keep rolling back.
And that was also the only time I opened up the jersey.
Roll again. One more
That was just to try and get as much heat
before we start.
dissipated as I could because I knew I'd be generating a lot of it. And that's just a calculation of energy output, which cycling we measure in watts. Watts of energy.
Here.
Same pre-race warm-up. Heart rate never got above mid 140s during my ramp phase. I do this warm-up I had built because you can build your own workouts in Zwift, and I put one together a while back based on some workout routines I was doing. I put together a couple different ones. So this same one I keep using, it ramps me up towards my FTP. Never quite gets to FTP, like 95% of FTP. And then takes 10 minutes to get there. So it's a slow ramp. Brings my heart rate up slowly. I try to average around 90, 95 RPM the whole time. Then at the end of 10 minutes, it drops me to like 80%, something like that. 60%, I don't know, of FTP. Let's see.
Make sure you get some good nutrition in you. You get some hydration in you. Replace everything you just depleted.
65% of FTP, and hold that flat for the next 10 minutes.
So we can be more efficient on your next workout.
So it allows the heart rate to come back down again slowly,
Nice and easy.
but it only comes down to a certain point where it stabilizes.
Your recovery should
Because I don't want to get cooled down too much, but I also don't want to keep my effort high. I want it to come back down to a reasonable level.
nowhere near out of breath.
There's 7 miles, that's what I was going toward.
Starting to get starting to feel good again.
So during the ramp up phase, I got up to about mid 140s, and then the stabilizing phase kept about mid 130s.
Hopefully you've enjoyed this use.
So that
Hopefully
definitely was a difference as well.
if you were prepared, you'd have to
Again, temperature a huge difference. I'm freezing right now because all 4 fans are still blowing and I'm sweaty. But all in all, good race. Pretty happy with it.
be here.
Wish I had more kick. Maybe in real life I do, but I don't know. I thought about getting out of the saddle at one point. Didn't feel like I had it to get out of the saddle to kick. Could that have maybe moved me up a spot or two? Maybe, I don't know. I don't remember how close I was to the guy in front of me. Seemed like there was a gap there. I don't know. Looking back when you're feeling all nice and relaxed and the heart rate's down and think about all the things you could have done, it's different than when it was really going down. But anyway, let's get a snapshot here. and then we'll flip our equipment back. Also went with a different bike frame today. So same wheels, but I was doing a little research and I dropped a bunch of cash on this Specialized Venge frame, which actually, it says that this one's actually, looking at the stars alone, this one's just as aero, but it's lighter weight. But since most of the course isn't really climbing, there's a little bit of uphill section, but most of it isn't climbing. This one's actually more aerodynamic, seconds-wise. So I figured I'd give it a try, and that may or may not have had any impact, I don't know. But it will be my go-to for now, so I can get a better one. I think the only better one I can get, because I want to stick with Specialized frames, is going to be this. Let's take a look. I think it's the Venge S-Works. Let's see. Venge S-Works, but that doesn't open up until level 33, and I'm at level 29, so I got a ways to go before that one opens up. At which point I would go with that one instead. But anyway, that's that. Actually, real quick, go back. The only I'll have to take a look at wheels. This is where I want to go. But as far as wheels go, again, a quick look at that. Where's the zip? There's an 858, but that doesn't open up to 1137. These Super 9 combos, so this would be the same 808 wheels that I have, keeping the 808 on the front, I'm going with a disc wheel on the back, so I'd go with that for the for a time trial setup until I can go to the 858, and then at level 45 I can go with that 858 on the front and the disc wheel on the back. So, but again, that's as you move up in levels, it takes a long time to get to that next level. So anyway, did all that, set that back to my training frame and wheels, set my training weight back to my 170 here.
Shake out on the leg, left leg out, squat down, hands on your knee. If you need to stay flat, grab the side of your treadmill.
And all in all, pretty happy with the race. Of course, I wouldn't mind finishing in front of fifth, but also knowing it was fifth, and I stayed with the front the whole time for what started as a pretty quick, small group. Pretty happy with that. And I stayed with the finishing group, with the exception of the sprint. So I'm okay with all that as well. So with that, keep riding, keep Zwifting. I'll see you in the virtual world. And ride on.